.NET user group. So it was in the fall of '07, and I know that you have one down here in South Florida, and I would, definitely, get active in that user group. We had discussed in regards to when we want to have our meetings, and that was the tough part. Should it be Tuesday night? What time Tuesday night? Should it be Thursdays? Well, anyways, we ended up on a Saturday. And our first meeting was in February of last year, and we had 11 people show up. And since then, it just has grown incredible. In June of last year, the tech ed people came into town with Microsoft, and on the Saturday, did anybody go to that event? Saturday, that was it. We had a DotNetNuke Open Force Day when all of the people from DotNetNuke came for that day, and they are really involved with all of the user groups. So I couldn't continue on with getting involved with this book over the summertime and other things that I'm doing in my life. So I had asked to take over the user group. You get to know Will. He's very energetic and very knowledgeable of DotNetNuke. He is both a developer and a Skinner. So you can pick his brain on those things. And he was involved as the technical editor of the book that we worked on. And when I was asked to get involved with this book, I really wanted to have Florida people involved. And the first couple of people that came to my mind were the people that agreed to write on the book. Stan Schultes, who's in the back, he's been around forever in the Code Camp world. All right, he has traveled all over the place to give you his knowledge on the BB expert. Okay, and Daryl I saw in March at the Orlando Code Camp, and I wanted Daryl to do the architect part of the book and the security part of the book when he just blew our socks off, talking last March, and I'm sure he'll do the same after me. So I'm going to start, and we'll just talk about this new version of DotNetNuke, and there's some information about me. And what I'd like to accomplish, because the audience usually is variety and will ask a question afterwards, but this is what I'd like to accomplish in this hour session in regards to what's DotNetNuke, what are the features of the new version. Has anyone installed that and started playing around with that? Anyone? Okay, a couple people, all right. Talk about the new features, we'll talk about installing, best ways to learn, and we'll give you some hints on how to learn this stuff, okay? So you're obviously here because you heard of DotNetNuke, okay, but you haven't played around with it. Is that what it is for most people? Anyone have sites, DNN sites out there? Okay, using what, version 4? Yeah.
Mine is version
3. Okay, all right. How about 2 people?
Not yet.
Not yet? How many? Okay, all right. How many have live sites? Live sites? Okay, and what are you trying to do on your site?
We scale for our clients. We have quite a few of our clients.
Okay, so a lot of clients that you're working on. Okay, cool. What about you?
Well, actually, we have a production site that's been in production for, I would say, probably about 4 years.
Okay.
And we have enjoyed a list of businesses in our city, like additional information.
Okay. Good. Any skin developers besides this gentleman here? Anybody else? Okay. How about mod developers? Module developers? Okay. All right. That's okay. Just to find out, where everybody's at here. All right. So, what you should know is that this particular product is free. It is an open source portal application that is sponsored by Microsoft. Right? It is ranked in the top 5 active projects in the workspace directory, and as far as the growth is concerned, it's phenomenal. In regards to 600,000 registered users, if you ever get that question, can DotNetNuke handle a lot of users, just go to the DotNetNuke site and see how many users that are on there and how many downloads, okay? 5.6 million cumulative downloads, grows by about 1,500 new users per week at the rate of 140,000 per month. and 12,000 new publicly facing websites built on this platform going live each month, okay? So it's absolutely phenomenal. This is what the site looks like, okay? And its history is extremely unique. And Sean Walker wrote a couple of chapters for the book. Sean is the founder of DotNetNuke, and in the beginning chapters, he does go into a lot more detail than I have. But how many of you have looked at iBuySpy portal? All right, long time ago when ASP.NET was first introduced, okay? And it was kind of a fun e-commerce, right, application where they sold spy products, okay? And what Sean Walker did was he tore apart that idea that Microsoft had and had a iBuySpy workshop. And then, as you can see, the growth in 2003 to 2014 was formed, and the ASP.NET team from Microsoft also gave input, all right? And in March, version 2 was released at VS Live. In 2005, we had 2 new releases, version 3 and version 4. In version 6, the starter kit came out to work with Microsoft's Visual Web Developer. And then look what happened in 2007. You had just the newer features. And last year was an incredible year, in my opinion, for the company as a whole, because not just because 5.0 was released the night before Christmas, and it was we were riding on the pre-releases of the product. Okay, so we were constantly playing catch up when the new releases came out, and then we had to rewrite stuff. Okay. And at Christmas Day, they added some features on it. My chapter was like, oh man, I got thank goodness that the Rocks people were good enough to extend the deadlines for me to be able to write some stuff that was in there that I hadn't put in there because of the fact that the product is now live and it's new. Okay. So the other things in which they've done as far as the open force events, they did that in 2007 where they did go over to Europe and they had their own conference for the first time, and they had one in Vegas and they had a second one in Vegas, and Darrell went to that, and Ryan Morgan, who will be speaking this afternoon, spoke at that particular conference, and there's a lot of interest and a lot more vendors in the DotNetNuke world than in previous years. Other things that happened more recently is the fact that DotNetNuke has received Series A capital money. Okay, so there's some good blogs that are about that in regards to how is that going to affect the product. There will be a professional edition out. It's not out yet. We don't know what's going to be put in there. There will still be a free version, all right, for everyone else to use. Larry Augustine, who is an open source guru, is now a board member, so it'd be interesting to find out what's going to happen. Okay. In the last chapter of the book, Sean does talk about an open source software company, which is quite interesting in regards to the evolution of what goes on. All right. As far as the community is concerned, because this is open source, this allows anyone with a programming background to add to the existing framework. Developers can contribute to the growth of the product and get involved with the team. I know that Will is involved with the media.
Yeah, media module. It's not official yet, but I'm going to be taking over as the project lead this week or next week. Okay.
So any of you can get involved and put some time into that. Because of the open source environment, it's kind of like we get it for free, but we have to give back. That kind of idea. It does, even if it's just answering the question in the forum, is a way of giving back. All right. How many of you have gone to the forum on DotNetNuke and seen some of the questions? And I think the response time is pretty decent. I know that Leopold gets on it right away, and there's other people that get on it right away. But I think getting to know somebody that's working with DotNetNuke here, if this is something that you're going to be doing, that